year. I'm super excited for what the year holds. And I think just seeing that interest rates are down a little bit, we see more inventory coming on the market. I think it's going to be a very exciting year in real estate. So let's dig into today's program. So as a reminder, knowledge is not power, execution is power. So super important as you go throughout today's program, since you're investing an hour of your hard-earned time into learning something new for your business, we want you to walk away and execute on some stuff. So goal of today's meeting is just write down 3 things. So if you have a piece of paper, take it out, write down 1, 2, and 3. And the goal is to fill in 3 things that you're going to execute on after today's meeting as you watch for the next hour or so. Again, knowledge is not power. What you execute on is power. So first, I want to say a huge welcome to several new and returning real estate agents. The past 30 days has been one of our busiest in the last 3 years, I would say, as far as new agents joining LAER and agents coming back to LAER. So just since our last meeting, we wanted to welcome Taylor, Mary Beth, and Paul. As well, we want to welcome Avenue Real Estate. Avenue Real Estate joined us from the Worcester market. So we're very excited to now have an opportunity to further grow into the Worcester market. So welcome to 26 or so, 27 agents and staff members who joined us in Worcester. We're super excited to have you as part of the LAER family. Wanted to also welcome the Brian Flynn team. I made a post on Facebook last week to say, literally, the Brian Flynn team has been a team that I've been talking to for 10 years. So for 10 years, having conversations over time about potentially teaming up and working together. So it's an honor and a privilege to be working with the Brian Flynn team. They will be spearheading the opening of our brand new Reading office. We already have a beautiful location in downtown Reading. Just waiting for the furniture to be finished, internet to be installed, but the Reading office should be up and running in the next 30 days or so. So super excited about this. We also have about 20 other additional agents who are in the various stages of onboarding. So it's been a super busy month, and we are so excited to be entering 2024 with an even larger group of lions out conquering the real estate marketplace. Okay, let's dig into some numbers. We'll take a look at first, let's look at December, and then we'll take a look at where all the numbers shook out for the entire year. So December 2023, we did 198 closings. That says 148 rentals. That might have been a typo on me, Sergio. It's 48 rentals. 198 total closings plus 48 rentals. We did 101.7. So just over $100 million in sales volume for the month of December. I don't know about you guys. I feel like December it felt busier than last December for some reason. But the numbers, I think, came in slightly lower. Not bad, but a little bit lower than last December. But feels like the market going into January is already very busy. We have, I am predicting that our January for 2024 is going to have more closings than January 2023. So with that, let's take a look at our how that all shakes out. This is based on agents who are associated in offices. So our agents based out of Massachusetts offices did 157 sales at 83 million. Agents based out of our Florida offices did 31 sales at 13 million, and our New Hampshire based agents, I have this weird pop-up that's coming up on my Zoom. I can't read the bottom. Okay, our New Hampshire-based agents did 8 sales at 3.5 million. I like to just remind everybody that's where the agents are located. So I say that because we do a lot, our Massachusetts-based agents do lots of business in New Hampshire. Those New Hampshire sales are just agents that are based out of our couple of New Hampshire offices. All right, let's take a look at top agents and teams across the board. As a reminder, Sergio will send out sometime today our top 25 list. I'll show those to you in a second, where we acknowledge overall top 25 agents and teams overall across the brokerage. First, we want to recognize our top 25 for December teams by sales volume. So we have number 1, Silver Key Homes, followed by O'Connell & Co., Button & Co., the Pisano Group, and Rogers Mello team. Then we have our top 5 individuals by volume. Number 1, Elena out of Tewksbury, Paul, Tammy McKenney, Matt Winterly, and Wendy Thomas. Congratulations to our top 5 individual agents in Massachusetts-based offices. Next, we want to acknowledge our top 5 teams by unit sold. So congratulations to Silver Key Homes, followed by O'Connell & Company, followed by Button & Company, followed by the Nito team, and then the Pisano Group. Congratulations to our top 5 teams by units closed, Massachusetts offices. Let's take a look at our top 5 agents, individuals, Massachusetts offices, based on the number of units sold for December. We have Elena Marchis, came in number 1, followed by Paul Brulette, Kristen Dodge, Olivia Paris, and Johnny Fallon. Congratulations on our top agents and teams for Massachusetts offices. Let's take a look at our New Hampshire offices. So number 1, teams and individuals, all the numbers worked out the same for our New Hampshire offices. Teams and individuals by volume, the Fulford Group, followed by Platinum Realty, followed by Team Energy, then Jessica Preventure, then Lisa Newman. Congratulations. And then let's take a look at the same group by units. Platinum Realty Group came in number 1, followed by Fulford Group, number 3, Team Energy, number 4, Jessica Preventure, and number 5, Lisa Newman. Let's take a look at our Florida offices. So our top 10 Florida agents and teams by volume. Congratulations to Yesenia, the Pedraza team, Mike Infante, Laura Rojas, Kelly De Silva, the Batro team, Liz Stewart, the Lambert team, John Slavon, and Darley DeRusso. Also want to take a look at our top 10 Florida agents and teams by number of units sold for the month of December. So we have Pedraza team, Yesenia Soto, Michael Infante, Laura Rojas, Kelly De Silva, the Batro team, Elizabeth Stewart, the Lambert team, John Slavon, and Darley DeRusso. So congratulations. And then we have our top 25 overall. This is for across the board, top 25 by volume, and then top 25 by units. So congratulations to all of our high performing agents for the month of December. A couple things on this. Number 1, we do have a new social media post that we're playing with, and that will go out either today or tomorrow. And it's basically a list. We made this, our social media team made a really cool video, which we're thinking of launching every single month, but it's like a quick video of all of the agents who did more than $1 million in sales for the prior month. So it shows each picture, and we also chose to really highlight agents, not teams. So on that social media post, it's a really fun video that kind of circles through all the agents that did $1 million plus in business, and really focusing not necessarily on teams, but individual agents who each accomplished $1 million in sales volume for the month. So you'll see that come out, but I wanted to make an explanation on it because it's not going to match these lists because we extracted the individual agents out of the teams so that they get some additional marketing as well. So let's take a look at our year-over-year numbers. Basically, we ended up closing 2,838 closings at 1.38 billion. This is not the exact final number. We still have closings that have not quite closed out of the system, waiting for checks to come in, but this is going to be pretty close to where we end, somewhere around $1.4 billion in closings for 2023 at about 2,838 closings. This does not include rental. All of what you see here is just our sales transactions. We come in about 11% lower than our previous year in both units and volume. So I'm still super proud of the number. National Association of Realtors predicted at the beginning of last year that there'd be a 30% decline in business for all of us. So with that in mind, we're doing really awesome. Little bit down in volume and down in units closed, but overall, compared to what the market is offering, we're doing pretty darn good. So previous year, we did 3,227 closings at 1.52 billion. We will be putting together, once we have the finalized number, once these last transactions close out of our system, we'll send out just a company-wide announcement on what the actual number is so that you can update any of your marketing stuff. As well, we'll do some top agent lists for the entire year so you could see where you fall as compared to other agents, looking at our overall 12-month numbers. So you can expect to see those in the next week or so. Some interesting company updates. By the way, I want to let everybody know we did send out an email to everybody beginning of last week from our bookkeeping department. If you didn't see that, go in and just double check in your inbox. We just wanted to verify addresses. We had a ton of agents move this year. So we sent out an email giving you a breakdown to what we had so far for your 2023 income. And also it had your address for sending out your 1099s. Basically, this time of year is super busy for our accounting team because they are working on getting all of those 1099s out. We will definitely have them out by the end of the month, but our goal is actually to have them out super early this year. So our goal is to get them out by the 15th. So early next week, you should be receiving those at whatever address we have on file for you, which is why we sent that email out, just to verify that we have the correct address. I know tons of you received the email because we got lots of responses back. And anybody that responded back with a change in address, all of those have been updated, trying to make the whole 1099 process as smooth as possible. So back to company updates. In case you missed last month's meeting is one that you should probably go watch. You can head over to our YouTube station. By the way, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube station, it's a really good idea to subscribe. You can go to youtube.com/LAER training, LAER training. I only stress that because we have multiple YouTube stations. You want the youtube.com/LAER training and watch last month's sales meeting. And that is because we did a whole presentation on our new guide to buyer representation. This is really important because of that NAR ruling. It is possible that across many of our MLSs, we will potentially start to see more and more firms that are not offering a cooperating buyer agent commission. So this is why it's becoming more and more important that we get buyer contracts signed, that we talk about how we get paid. And most importantly, it's so important that we are able to articulate our value on a buyer presentation, as well as we can articulate our value on a listing presentation. All of you guys have listing presentations, or I should say most of you do, but not everybody has a buyer representation presentation. I'm really proud of this presentation. If you have not downloaded it yet, you can head over to LAERagentservices.com, head down to our marketing section where it has our marketing brochures and presentations. It's the very first button on the left. Click on that. You'll see a whole bunch of different LAER presentations, but right at the top, you're going to see the guide to buyer representation. This is basically like a PowerPoint presentation. It's meant to be updated, so you can add or delete, take out stuff that you want to take out, add stuff that you would like to add. But super important that this is one of the things you should be executing on. So we said write down 3 things you're going to go execute on after today's meeting. This should be one of them for the start of 2024. Go grab that buyer representation, start customizing it. By the way, this is just a reminder, most of you guys know this, but when you go to download the presentation or work on it in Canva, we use stock images from Canva. So LAER uses the Canva Pro edition of Canva, which is like $12 a month or $15. It's super inexpensive. If you're using the free version of Canva, some of our stock images are going to have big X's across them. You just have to delete out that photo and add a different photo from your own stock images is fine. You could still use the free version of Canva if you like. You're just going to have to change out some of the stock images, but highly recommend that you head into that. We spent a great deal of time, myself, our marketing team, and our amazing LAER Leadership Council. We worked on this to perfect it. And we think that we have a really strong presentation that you guys should be working off of to articulate your value to buyers. Next, I wanted to remind everybody, only because this is the time of year where you guys go get organized with stuff. So we launched this a couple months ago. If you need one-on-one support for any of our tools, so maybe you're using Isact and you want to set up email marketing campaigns. Maybe you need some help with Canva. You're just not super familiar with it. Or maybe you need a forms training. It could be really anything. But we set up laerrealty.com/briefings. By signing up for a briefing session, our team reaches out to you to organize and schedule a 30-minute one-on-one call with you. It's a Zoom call or a Google Meet call, and our team will walk you through getting, for example, your database set up so that you're doing set it and forget it emails within Isact. So this is a great time to get organized. Make sure that you're actually using the tools that you are that you really need for this business, and getting support where you need it. Okay, I mentioned this as well last month. Wanted to just quickly talk about our laerrealty.com/promptings. As you guys know, we put out an internal company newsletter once a month. And as part of the newsletter, that really is an important part of the culture here. So you guys know not only what is it that our tech committee is working on, or our sustainability committee, but also what's happening in the lives of your fellow agents. So we created this page here, laerrealty.com/promptings. This is where, if you know of a LAER family member, like a LAER agent that is maybe somebody got married or engaged or had a loss of a loved one, or maybe they got a new pet. Could be anything. We want to know about it. We ask that you fill out this laerrealty.com/promptings. That means that you see something good or even bad sometimes, has happened to a family member, you let us know so that we can acknowledge the agent and reach out. If they had a loss in their family, we want to reach out and give our support. And as well, if they had something great that happened to them, such as an engagement or a wedding or a new baby, we want to reach out as well. This is also where our LAER news teams gathers information so we can share with you guys what's happening with your fellow team members. We also want to let you know, for some reason, I couldn't get the link to work today, so I sent them an email, but I know some of you have already signed up for some CE classes. I love the CE shop, only because it gives you like a back end site where you can keep all of your CE certificates. And not only that, when you take a CE class, it'll automatically tell you all the states. If you're in multiple states, it'll tell you all the states that this class applies to. Anyways, we set up a partnership with the CE shop. So what's cool about it is we can offer discounts throughout the year, but also we can see your CE certificates. So sometimes agents email into Happy Agent because they can't find their CE certificates. Well, now if you're taking them here, we can actually go in the background and pull all of your certificates at any time. So that's at laer.theceshop.com. I don't know if they fixed it. I was on there I've used it this week because I needed CE classes for Connecticut, but also I went on this morning and it wasn't working. If it's not working, we've already notified them to get it back up and running. As a reminder, make sure that you read the newsletter that we send out each month. The LAER Den newsletter is not like a newsletter we're sending out for somebody to write for us. Our team writes it. So this is all stuff that's happening within the company with our agents. Like there's a great deal of value. It's only 4 pages. Our Happy Agent hosts print these and leave them at the front desk at the office as well each month, so you can grab a copy and just kind of peruse through it and see what's happening within the brokerage, some of the initiatives we're working on, etc. Okay, this is for our New England agents. In fact, I think Shant is going to join us in a few minutes to talk a little bit about this wonderful event. I know many of you have signed up for it already, but on January 18th, this is an event hosted by Shant of Guaranteed Rate. He's doing a Accelerate program where he has some really great speakers. Barry Habib is somebody who I've been following since I was in mortgages, like literally 30 years ago. I used to subscribe to the Barry Habib mortgage newsletter because he was amazing at forecasting what was happening with interest rates. And then also many of you guys already follow John Cheplack. Awesome event. I know many of our New England agents have already signed up for it. You can go to eventbrite.com and it's Accelerate Summit 2024 tickets. We're going to have Shant talk about this in a few minutes. Coast to Coast Closing is a proud sponsor of this event. So if you do head out to this event on January 18th, which I think is next Thursday, make sure that you head on over to the Coast to Coast Closings booth and say hello to our preferred closing and title company. So next up, we have Craig Foley, our Chief Sustainability Officer, to talk about some updates in sustainability. Welcome, Craig.
Thank you very much, Stacy. So we had a really exciting discussion that happened at the last LAER boot camp on Friday about building codes. There was a lot of interest in that topic. So Stacy, Kimberly Kuplast, I saw is on the line today. She's acting as the vice chair for the sustainability committee. So we're going to be sending out a notice for everybody about the next sustainability committee meeting later this month, which I don't know exactly when it's going to be until I talk to Kimberly. But we will talk about building codes. We'll do a deep dive on Massachusetts building codes. which I think is also helpful for New Hampshire and Florida as well, because Massachusetts is leading the United States right now in terms of the rigor of the building codes. And you can see my community of Melrose just adopted the most rigorous building code in the nation. The second most rigorous building code in the nation statewide is all of the 270 other communities that you see here on this recently updated map from Massachusetts Department of Energy Resources. So we're going to do a deep dive on building codes for this next sustainability committee meeting. You know, whether you like this or not, it's happening. So we need our agents to be updated on the rigor of these building codes, what they mean for their buyers, what they mean for listing these properties, and how to market them appropriately. As I think about building codes, though, I'm thinking about a lot of stuff, Stacy. You know, there was just this article yesterday about insurance prices skyrocketing across the country, particularly Florida, Texas, Louisiana, California, where they're dealing with a lot of extreme weather events and changing climate, and it's impacting successful home ownership. I just looked today and saw there was 3 people died, unfortunately, from carbon monoxide poisoning in Nahant. You know, a couple days ago, there was a big natural gas explosion that happened in Texas. And a big part of the building codes in Massachusetts is about decarbonization, electrification. And of course, these issues of carbon monoxide poisoning or exploding homes because of natural gas wouldn't happen with the most rigorous building codes that are out there. So again, like it or not, it doesn't really matter what we think on some level. We need to be educated about how to deliver this stuff to our buyers, the benefits of this stuff, and we're focused on that quite a bit. I'll throw these into the chat, but there is, I'm going to be teaching for Massachusetts Graduate Institute of Realtors a set of courses in June that covers building codes, as a matter of fact, as well as a bunch of other stuff. And also just a little plug, Stacy, for Broker's Edge. We're lucky to have this NAR national event in Waltham, Massachusetts on February 22nd. You can see sustainability is part of this. I'm one of the presenters for this. This is for brokers and agents, but this is a really exciting to have NAR in our backyard on February 22nd. So hopefully I'll throw that into the chat, and hopefully we'll be able to get folks from LAER there. Thanks very much.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Craig. And I didn't even notice Shant snuck on to our program. Welcome, Shant. Thanks for joining us. Tell us about your Accelerate event next week.
Hey, everyone. Stacy, thanks so much for having me. So, you know, we're really excited. We've had this Accelerate event. Last year was the initial one. This is our second go around at it. And we just felt like it was really a great way to just give back to all the realtors in our community and kick off the year with some powerful information. So, you know, we've got Barry Habib coming in. He's going to do about a 90-minute deep dive in, you know, everything from housing, economics, and the opportunity it creates for your buyers and the opportunity that it creates for your sellers, and how to really clearly communicate that to them. Giselle's going to jump in. She is going to talk about branding and marketing yourself, you know, to make your phone ring, right? To get out there and get comfortable on social media, how to get started if you're new, and how to take it a little bit further if you're already participating in it, and, you know, seasoned veteran there. And then John Chaplak's going to close it out with, you know, he works with some of the best, you know, real estate teams in the entire country, real estate agents in the country. He's going to talk about some of the things that top people are doing to make 2024 their best year yet in terms of the activities and actions that you need to take. So we've got, you know, it's already sold out, full event. If you didn't sign up for it and want to attend, please reach out. We'll get you a ticket for sure. But it's going to be packed house. It's also going to be a great way to just kind of network with all the other agents to talk about, you know, what's coming on the market, what they're seeing, all that kind of stuff. We're going to have there's going to be plenty of food. There's going to be a cocktail hour afterwards. And we might even have a surprise or two mixed in. But it's going to be a really positive energy just event that should help you accelerate here into the spring market.
All right, awesome. One question I have for you, Shant. By the way, for everybody watching today's program, Shant is, I think, licensed in every state. So you can help our New England and our Florida agents as well, correct?
100%. Wherever you end up in the U.S., I can help.
Second, what are you doing to make sure that 2024 is an amazing year for you?
I'm going all in personally, professionally on just like everything. So like my big things are we're sticking to the basics, like all the things, the way we built the business, like we're not getting away from those. We're focusing on what we can control. I'm really kind of making sure we're pouring into kind of communicating to our clients and our partners, like how we're differentiated instead of being commoditized. Like all the different values that we have, we're trying to make sure we clearly communicate that. And we're just trying to outvalue our competition always. And then lastly, just trying to maintain a massively positive mindset. So like doing all the things that I need to do to take care of myself so I can take care of my clients, my partners, and my family.
That's awesome. Outvalue. Is that what you said?
Outvalue
Outvalue
my competition. Yep.
your competition and a massively positive mindset.
Yep.
All right, awesome. You gave
Cool.
me a perfect lead into the final part of today's program. Thank you for joining us, Shant, and I look forward to seeing you at your event next week.
Thank you so much, Stacy. Bye, everyone.
All right, so I want to now just share with you guys the last part of today's program. I like to have an educational segment in our program each month. So I've been working on this program on how to future-proof your business, and the How to Future-Proof Your Business program will end up being a probably 2 to 3 hour program once it's complete, but I put together a big piece of it today that I think is already ready to present. So you guys are getting kind of a sneak peek at this upcoming program, and there's going to be a ton of content that we cover in the next 20 minutes, because literally the piece that I'm about to share is the first hour of a 3 hour program, and I'm going to jam it into 20 minutes. So you're getting 1 hour of phenomenal content in 20 minutes. So let me reshare. Okay, so let's talk about how to future-proof your real estate business in a repositioning market, because without a doubt, we're still seeing a repositioning. The market is still very different than it was just a couple of years ago. So that means that we have to do things differently as well. Hold on a second. My thing is not moving this forward. Hold on. I'm going to try resharing. There we go. Why would this not move forward, Sergio?
Try using your keyboard arrows. Oh no, it's at the very last slide.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why. That's why Sergio is invaluable to us. Not only does he help us with all of our marketing, he helps us notice the obvious. Okay. There we go. So how to future-proof your real estate business in a repositioning market. So I've covered this in previous meetings, but if you think about it, I keep saying like the universe is picking winners right now. By the way the universe picks has a great deal to do with like mindset and manifestation and attraction. None of that we're covering today. You'll have to come on to the full program to get all of that really good information. But how do you make sure that you're not the Blockbuster of real estate, the America Online of real estate, the Napster of real estate, Circuit City, the BlackBerry, the Tower Records? These are all like unbelievable companies that we thought would be part of like the technology landscape forever, and now they're all gone. So how do we make sure that this doesn't happen to us as real estate agents? So first of all, couple things I want to go over quickly is I broke it down into like the threats. What are the threats in our business? And this whole program is focused on the 3 biggest threats. We're going to only cover one of the 3 biggest threats today and how we maneuver around that threat. But there are 3 major threats to your business, to your livelihood, to your lifestyle. And let's talk about what the threats are. You have 3 primary competitors. So future proofing requires that you properly identify what the threats are, because otherwise you're competing with something that does not matter. I'll give you a hint. If you're competing with some other real estate brokerage out there, you are competing with something that absolutely does not matter. It has 0 impact on you. So let's talk about what are the 3 threats. Number 1, in my opinion, the biggest threat to your business is Zillow. This is why we've made a conscious effort as a company to talk about Zillow. For example, you'll see a slide in our buyer representation presentation where we talk about Zillow. Zillow is a threat. By the way, Realtor.com is. I think any of the companies out there that have built these online platforms designed specifically to sell you back your own customers, it is a threat. So it's not necessarily just Zillow. Zillow is one of the biggest, but anybody who has built a platform to take a piece, a big piece of your income, only forgetting eyeballs, they are a threat to your business. And this is the one we're going to focus on all of today's practice. But the 3-hour program that I'm designing is designed so that we spend 1 hour on each of the 3 major competitors for your business. Number 1, and this is where we'll spend most of the time today, is the companies like Zillow, Realtor.com. But of course, you're probably curious, what are the other 2 biggest threats to your business, to your lifestyle? Because there's things we can do to guarantee our future. And the second biggest threat, in my opinion, to your business and to your lifestyle is AI. And that is because it levels the playing field. Now, that doesn't mean we can't compete. In fact, we can compete if we know what we are competing against. And the second biggest threat to your business and to your lifestyle, in my opinion, is AI. So, by the way, both Zillow, Realtor.com, AI doesn't mean we're not going to use those. Of course, we're going to use these in our businesses, but we have to make sure that we extract maximum value from the platforms. We have to do what they can't. So when it comes to AI, there's things that we can do that AI cannot do. So, and then we have to always remember that it is simply a tool in the arsenal. It should be given credit for being nothing more than an additional tool that we have access to. But we have to be super mindful about where it stands in the scheme of how we operate our business to keep it in its proper place. And then we have to figure out what can we do to build on top of it to best articulate our value. And then the third biggest threat to your business and to your lifestyle is you. So the third part of the program is really focused on actively designing a future you, because the future is going to look different for real estate. That means that the future you has to look different for real estate as well. So this entire 3-hour program, which I'm not 100% complete with, focuses on each of the 3: Zillow, AI, and you. It's interesting because I'm in the recruiting business, and what's interesting about recruiting real estate agents is that sometimes real estate agents move brokerages because they think they're going to get something more or different that's all of a sudden is going to completely change your business. But the problem with that is that you take you wherever you go. So at the end of the day, your success lies in you. So that's the third part of the program. We're going to spend all of today just focusing on the Zillow piece of it. So first of all, hold on, I'm just going to close. I have all these. So we're going to spend most of our time today just focusing on the Zillow piece of it. And really what we have to do when focusing on Zillow, Realtor.com, etc., these companies that are taking pieces of our income and not giving much in return to the consumer, just basically taking it from us, is number one, we have to copy them in some ways. So we have to figure out what pieces can we copy and duplicate into our businesses, and then what pieces can we do that makes it so they can't duplicate us. So they can duplicate our listings, which is exactly what they're doing. They can take our listings and market it, but what can we do that a Zillow can't? And so first piece we have to focus on is data collection and email marketing. This is what Zillow, Realtor.com, these companies are just in the business of data collection and email marketing. That's it. It's a numbers game for them. They data collect and they email market to get more emails. So we have to be as good at them at doing it. So moving into 2024, your database is your gold. So the leads are always cheaper when you're working from your database. Your business becomes consistent because you create a pipeline. Your business becomes saleable and you become harder to forget when you have a database. Who goes into your database? Literally everybody. Do you guys think that Zillow or Realtor.com or any of those pick and choose who goes into the database? Absolutely not. Everybody goes into the database. So every name, every email, you are in the business of collecting information to store in a database. It is names and email addresses. By the way, you got to market to them too, which Realtor.com and Zillow and companies like it, they're really good at staying in touch. So it's not like it's just a stagnant database. We have to be doing something with that. So remember, if you don't stay in touch, somebody else will. What's super interesting is many years ago, I think you could get away with running a real estate business without a database because there weren't a bajillion real estate agents. But now because there are a bajillion real estate agents and it is so easy for them to be in front of your customers through social media and through email marketing campaigns, you actually have to be super good at being in front of your people at all times. So what we're going to do to compete with Zillow and Realtor.com is we're going to be in the database collection and email marketing business. Database collection, email marketing. We're just going to copy what Zillow does. They're doing it, so you have to too. We're going to collect and we're going to market. Next, we're going to do personal touch marketing. So one thing we can do to compete against the Zillows, for example, is we can copy what they do. We're going to just build massive databases and we're going to market to them. We're going to build massive databases, collect information, and we're going to market to them. But we also have to do what Zillow can't do, and that is personal touch marketing. So that's where we have the opportunity to shine. So as we move into 2024, you have to have a plan like, what am I doing to copy the platforms that are taking my business? But also, what am I doing that is unduplicatable? That means that a Zillow cannot do it. That means high touch, highly personalized, and that becoming a member of your sphere of influence means something. Now, if you become a member of the sphere of influence of Zillow, it means nothing. You're just a number. You will get the same number of emails as everybody else. So to be unforgettable, you have to be unduplicatable. We have to do something that Zillow can't do. So I want you to think about, as you're moving into 2024, what are the member benefits of being in your sphere? What do people get from you that they're not going to get from Zillow? And that means high touch. That means phone calls, That means thank you for the referrals. We know that Zillow's not calling the customer and saying, hey, thank you, you just made us 10 grand by buying through this real estate agent. It means we have to do personal visits. And then also there's some stuff we can do with client appreciation events and vendor directories, etc. So when we think about Zillow and Realtor.com, we have to think about the piece we're going to copy, but also doing the things that they cannot or will not duplicate. And that is all the stuff that is super high touch. And that is all the stuff that is, think about what it means to be a member of your sphere of influence. So phone calls, like to your database, commit to making 3 phone calls a day to the people in your database. 3 calls a day equals 9 minutes of your time. And if you do that all year long, that's 1,092 calls a year. How many referrals do you lose in a year by not just investing 9 minutes a day to make 3 calls a day to people in your sphere of influence? Personal visits is another one. When you go do like a pop by or personal visits, giving a little small, tiny gift of appreciation, seed packets, plants, chocolates. We have awesome gift tags on the LAER agent services, but this is the stuff Zillow can't do. They can't do this high touch, personalized stuff. If you do 5 visits per week, that's a total of 90 minutes of your time. That's 260 visits per year you would be making. That's like 90 minutes a week equals 260 visits you could make in a year. How many referrals are you guys losing because you're not investing 90 minutes a week into just going and meeting 5 people? So also think about like your client appreciation events, like bringing people to you. Not only should you be out doing the high touch, getting in front of people, but also you got to be doing the client appreciation events to bring the people to you, because we know Zillow's not going to do that. They're not going to have pictures with Santa and a movie night and apple picking events, housewarming events, sending out thank yous to anybody that refers business. This is stuff that Zillow can't do. So if you do 4 events per year, that means you invest 20 to 40 hours a year. And let's just say you get 50 attendees per event. That's another 200 happy A-list clients per year. So think about how many referrals you're losing each year by not investing 20 to 40 hours a year. Number 4, grow and force multiply vendor partnerships, vendor partner relationships. This is stuff that Zillow is not doing. Of course, they have like their preferred mortgage people, who is really not really preferred. It's really like people that are paying them. But this is where you can force multiply and build your business directory, the vendors that you refer on real estate transactions. That includes people who are vendors to our business, such as mortgage, closing partners, etc. But also, more importantly, you have the guy that owns the pizza shop down the street, the mechanic. Interview your partners once a month and feature them in the newsletters. We talk about this as part of the AlgoWin program, but this means force multiplying your database. Build an amazing business directory, 1 addition per week to your business directory. And we're going to say that each time you add somebody, you're going to commit 2 hours to going out and meeting that person, interviewing them, writing a quick little article for your newsletter. That's 52 personal connections a year just for your vendor list. Zillow is not doing this. And business directories are force multipliers. The average human being knows 144 people. That's the average person that does not own a business. The person that owns a business knows 10 times, they have a 10 times bigger sphere because they, like you, are in the business of building a bigger sphere. So if you add 52 personal connections a year to your business directory, 200 personal connections a year from your 4 client appreciation events, if you do your 5 personal visits to consumers or your sphere each week, and make your 3 phone calls a day, you're at 1,600 personal touch connections each year. If 0.25% of them turn into new business. That's 40 new transactions a year. This is where Zillow cannot and will not duplicate. 5, you have to create multiple streams of new business. Does Zillow do this? Yes, they do. This is why they want to get into our business. This is why they start real estate companies and mortgage companies. They go out and create multiple streams of business. Let's copy them. Let's do the same exact thing. So think about where are your pillars of business and create more of them. Sign up for every lead service, build your own networking group, create agent referral programs, farming, corporate partnerships. Definitely you should sign up for all the referral fee-based lead platforms that we offer within the LAER agent services guide. So people say, should I really be feeding Zillow or opcity/realtor.com, giving them my money? Who cares about the money? We're going to use their database to build our database. So if you are using these platforms, use them, squeeze out every single person you can into your own database. That's what they're doing to you. So yeah, sign up for OpCity, get leads from OpCity and all these, but only if you're good at doing what they do, which is you got to market them and you have to do all the things that realtor.com or Zillow is not going to do. As you build your multiple streams, your multiple pillars of income, you will grow your database. 6, buy time and leverage. The only way you're going to be able to scale your business in 2024 is find ways to buy more time. So you got to find things that are set it and forget it. MLS mailings for just listed, just sold postcards, set it and forget it. Wise Pelican for doing your farm mailings to any area you want. Using your Isaac system for your email drip campaigns, a monthly email newsletter, set it and forget it. Hire a transaction coordinator, do all your paperwork, set it, forget it. Don't worry about doing transactions. You put clients under agreement, you help people find homes, and then let somebody else do the paperwork. Huge fan of TPMCO, the personal marketing company. They have an awesome program for $25. They'll stay in touch with your client for 5 years through automated client follow-up system, which is all mailings for 5 years. Showami, app for finding people who can show real estate for you. You got to lean into the technology that's going to help you grow in 2024. Next, know your numbers. As you move into 2024, in order to compete with the Zillows or the Realtor.coms, you have to be really good at knowing your numbers. This means copying them. Do you think Zillow knows their numbers? We know they know their numbers because if you try to buy Zillow leads, they're like, okay, you can have 1/8 of 1% of the Westford market, and it's going to cost you $3,000 a month, and you're going to get 4 leads from it. They know their numbers. You need to know your numbers on everything. How much you have to track everything. Where is the business coming from? What are you paying for the business? This means you have to open and read your bank statements and credit card statements and track miles and save receipts and all of that fun stuff. You also have to track your lost transactions. Your lost transactions are potentially even bigger opportunity than the transactions that you closed. The transactions that you close are the people who often already know, like, and trust you and are going to refer you business. But what about the ones you lost? What could you have done so that you didn't lose those customers? And then can you develop systems so that you don't lose them in the future? Next, don't feed your threats without getting something in return. That means if you're going to use a Zillow or an OpCity, you have to get something in return. So keep your clients off of Zillow, Realtor.com, and Redfin. This is really important that you create systems so that your buyers are not shopping on these websites. This means you must lean into technologies like your Real Scout so that you can explain to a consumer why Real Scout is has better search capability than a Zillow. Also, please, I still see real estate agents do this. They get a new listing and they're excited about their new listing and they share a link to their new listing on Zillow. Huge mistake. You just gave away God knows how much business, because Zillow is not sending the customer back to you. Do not share their links on social media. And then articulate, define, and defend your value. Really important you do your buyer representation. Think about how you could charge more. You are worth more. The cost of running your business has increased. So while you think about all the things you can do to get more business, some of it we just covered, also think about what can you do to earn more per transaction. Instead of focusing on like doing more volume, how do you better articulate your value so you extract more value, more income from each transaction so that you can do less business but earn more because you are worth it. Got to become really good at articulating your value, letting go of customers, by the way, who don't appreciate you. It leaves the door open for clients that do appreciate you. So you have to be super good at articulating your value literally everywhere you show up. So that is a very quick and unfinished summary of our entire program, which we are going to be offering on Future Proof Your Business. You guys kind of got a sneak peek of that. And before we wrap up, I saw we have Mike Conway from Coast to Coast on today. Mike, do you have any updates or things you want to share with us?
Hey everyone, good to be here. Great meeting. My head was like exploding in that condensed version. You talked about writing 3 things down. I tried to write 10 things down and didn't get all of them, but I look forward to seeing it. Thanks for having me as always. And I agree. You know, I look at December, it felt busy. It felt like we were moving, things were coming in. People, you know, didn't take that time off. And I think that's absolutely continuing into January. So, you know, let's ride the market. Rates are going down and I see a lot of interest, a lot of people out there, a lot of people calling with questions. So just be there for your clients, be there for potential clients. And I think we're going to have a great year.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Mike. As a reminder, I know you guys, many of you are using this, but if you go to ctcclosings.com/a locals guide, CTC has this really cool guide that they'll create for you, like a marketing piece for your listing. If you have, say, a Westford listing, where it's like the top 10 things to visit in that town. All kinds of awesome training coming up. Every Tuesday and Thursday is our tools training, 12:30 to 1:30. You can watch it right on our Facebook groups, but also just go subscribe to youtube.com/LAER training. It's going to save you money by just going to youtube.com/LAER training. I guarantee at some point in the year, there's going to be a live class that you missed, but because you subscribe to our LAER training, the system will email you and you'll get to watch or listen to a training while you're driving and turn it into income. With that, if you need anything at all, you know where to get us. Just email happyagent@laerrealty.com. And I look forward to an amazing 2024 working with all of you. Thanks, everyone.